Well, first of all, give Notre credit. Beat us, and obviously, I thought that it was a heck of a game until they had the kickoff return and absolutely bad finish for us. And that's tough to see, right? And I think when you go back and look at all this, I think that we've certainly got some individuals, some groups playing at a really good level and where you can win it. But what's also awesome about the game of football is it takes a team. And as a team, we're not doing enough to give ourselves a chance to win and beat good football teams, right? And that's something that we've obviously got to improve upon. And it's, everyone's got to find a way to move forward. And it's a good football team we faced, and yet, we're heading into league play, and we're gonna play other good teams, and give yourself a chance. You got to play good football. And a lot of times we did, but not consistently.
Got microphones on each side.
Paul, I know it's hard to do anything drastic after 3 games of the season. Are you considering anything, whether it's change of quarterbacks, taking less off your own plate, anything else at this point to change things around?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I think you're going to take a look at everything, right? And I think you always do, after every game. Try never to be so responsive or, what's the right word? Just because the scoreboard dictates, right? You should know some of those things before, kind of process driven, not result driven. Certainly the final result matters, right? And I understand the world we're in. You kind of reference about the quarterback, and yet I think it's kind of what I was talking about too. That it is a team sport, right? And to put it all on Graham, that would be wrong, right? I think there's a lot of areas where we need to be better if we're going to give ourselves a chance, and yet I think that there are some, and I don't think I'm wrong in this. I think there's some players and, like I said, some groups that are playing at a really good level, and yet we need more to, as a team, to be able to be a truly good football team, which I still believe we can be a good football team, but change has to happen. You can't just talk about it. You got to do it.
Well, without having seen the tape yet, obviously, do you find yourself sitting here as the game finished up thinking, my offense, it's my offense, I didn't do a good enough job, or my assistants didn't do a good enough job with me, putting us in the best position to succeed offensively?
Yeah, I think you always, I always have done that, right? Even when things went well, the plays that don't go well, and you take that personal, right? I mean, that's right or wrong. That's kind of how I've always approached it. So when you come off of something like this, you absolutely, I know I do, right? You feel like, okay, if you're going to get better, I think you have to focus on the things that you can influence, that you can impact. Sometimes you say control, but that might be too strong, right? And the number one person you better start with is yourself, right? Because that's what you have the most impact upon, right? And so didn't need, every time there's something that comes up, right? You're like, okay, you replay it. Like you said, you don't need to see the tape. You know what happened. Okay, if we're in that, you go through that in the course of the game. We get in that situation here. Would you? And obviously how the play result drives it at times, right? But yeah, I think you absolutely start. I personally start with myself.
Cole?
Paul, I know you haven't had a chance to watch the film, but what do you think was an issue with the offensive line today, especially in the run game? Because they weren't able to seem to get the push that we've seen in recent years past.
I think part of it was, early, and they did a good job, but they've got numbers on, right? And so that you you got so many guys that can go to so many to block it, right? And you know, you've got which also can then provide, right? It can provide other opportunities, and I think we're able to at times take advantage of it, but not consistently, right? And so we never really forced them out of really having to do what they wanted. They had control of it more than we did, right? We didn't force their hand enough.
Sure.
On this run of losses against ranked opponents, you're in, I think almost everyone, you've been in the fourth quarter. Do you think there's any sort of belief issue within this program, or these players that, you know, like the kickoff happens today, like here we go again, and getting over that hump? Do you see any of that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't feel it, and you know, I thought that, you know, the first game there was some positive response, right? That you don't have the lead, and you know, I think if you can always answer a score with a score, right? That's a good sign. Didn't do that today, right? But I think it goes back more to if you're playing consistently and if you're playing good football, that's part of it more than so than, you know, that'll lead to belief, right? You know, and you've got to, you know, certainly we've got to play better offensively. You know, that has probably as much, if not more, of an impact. If you're not doing anything that happens, then yeah, it makes it feel a lot harder.
Well, you're right that it takes 11 guys on a unit, but you know, quarterbacks look at it, the ball's in my hands,
Yep.
I should make plays for my team. Do you have any concern about Graham's confidence right now? Because he seems like a confident kid, but you know, things like this happen. It's not easy to bounce back.
Yeah, and it, you know, I mean, on a couple of the picks, you know, there's a point where, you know, that's one I think you go back and you say, okay, did you really give them a chance? The first one, okay, and we kind of knew how they were going to play it, and you know, we didn't execute it well enough. And I can't say that it's all on one guy, right? Because there has to be some anticipation with that. You know, the second one, then you say, okay, that's on me. You know what I mean? Or are you doing all you can to give them the chance, right? Yeah, I think that, you know, confidence is something that's you earn, right? And you have it. I think he's confident in himself. I think he's confident, you know, in those around him. But you also then have to, that has to be rewarded, right? And so I think, you know, we know that we're inconsistent. You know, there's a struggle, and so the best way to approach that is, right, let's all own our part in it, and then together I think we can try to fix that.
One of the better moments of the game was Kevin McCart's touchdown. What was it like to get to see him get a touchdown in a city where he's from?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, at that point, getting a touchdown was big, and I think that it's certainly his bonus, you know, when you talk about it, you know, being from here. But I think, and I don't know that I'm wrong here, but I think, you know, at that point, it was a big play for us, and I don't care where it would happen. I think he'd have been pretty excited about it, and we needed it.
Okay.
Well, you mentioned the kickoff return. Can you just clarify, were you guys kicking it to the corner to try to pin him deep? Was that an intentional plan on that one?
Yeah, and you're trying to help pin everything and try to work around it. They did a nice job at a field return on, and they executed it, and obviously it was a huge play in the game.